This is Rugby Merlin and welcome back to the channel. So face to face, this is the first meeting between the new coaching staff, Jerry Flannery and Tony Brown, of course with Rassi, and the extended squad getting ready for this 2024 international season, and it's a very exciting time. The squad is meeting up next week in Cape Town. A bunch of players going there, and it's called the Alignment Camp, which is an interesting name for it. But I think it's they're going to have 3 or 4 of these, or maybe 3, before they actually get onto the pitch and start training for their first international, which we'll talk about later. But it's going to be interesting to set out their stall now, and already they're talking of the cycle to the World Cup in Australia in 4 years. The players that will be attending, so there's 40 plus players, like 39 from the domestic provincial sides, and 4 players based in Japan who back home undergoing rehab, and so it's a nice mix. I think there were like 19 players or something, around 20 players who were actually in the World Cup squad last year. About half of the players attending have already got international caps, but about half haven't. So they've got a broad range of players there. So a huge potential pool of players that they're bringing into the ethos of the South African team early on in this cycle. So I'm not exactly sure what they'll be doing in this camp. I think a lot of getting to know you kind of things, particularly with Jerry Flannery and Tony Brown there. 2 new coaches, but the unifying factor is Rassi, of course, there as director of rugby, and no doubt they'll be talking about like team philosophy and what they hope to achieve over the next 4 years, and particularly this year, because they've got a big year, and maybe we'll get into a little bit more about their fixtures that they've got arranged so far. But what I did do is I had a quick little look at, because I know Rassi is always prioritize kind of the philosophy behind the game and why you play and what you're playing for. I mean, it's been a big component to his success in the last couple of, and the Springboks success in the last couple of World Cups. But what I found was it's quite an amorphous kind of subject, and it seems to change. So I found a bunch of them. Winning is a mindset that was leading up to the 2023 victory. Confidence, belief, commitment, same. Hope over expectation, which was Kolisi's one. Togetherness and triumph, the famous one. So what I found is that he tries to draw the philosophy behind the run that they're making from within the squad. So these players are going to have a big input in terms of like how the team approaches this year and this next 4-year cycle, and I think that's great. I think a lot of teams are trying to emulate South Africa now in terms of squad play and having an overall general idea of what they're trying to represent as a group. And South Africa have been the front runners in that department. So moving on to the 2024 schedule. Now it's an exciting schedule, and I'm really looking forward to it. I will say very honoured as a Welshman to be the first ones up. Not on the chopping block, but the first one's up. I think in June we're going to be playing South Africa in Wembley, which is going to be fantastic. A great experience for this young Welsh squad to play the reigning world champions. Then after that you have the mouth-watering test series. It's only 2 tests, which I was a little bit disappointed about when I found out. But yeah, still very exciting. And as you probably know, the Six Nations is going on as we speak. All the high drama up here in Europe, and everyone, I still get a lot of comments. Everyone is very excited about Ireland playing South Africa in the summer, so we're going to see how that goes. Then they have a great game, which I think is fantastic, and I wish to see more of it in the future. Portugal, they're playing in South Africa. South Africa will be a home, so that's going to be really exciting, particularly for Portugal as a rugby playing nation. Then you got the Rugby Championship. I think it's Australia away, 2 tests. Then New Zealand home for 2 tests. So that's going to be really good. And then 1 away, 1 at home, Argentina. And I think they round out the year with a test against England in Twickenham. So really big year, I think, for South African rugby. Lots of new faces, no doubt. And it's going to be very exciting. So I'm interested. I wish there was a camera on the wall and I could see what Rassie and the other coaches were saying to the boys next week. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see their talking on the pitch. And I'm looking forward to the matches this year. It's a great year for rugby, so I'm looking forward to it. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for listening, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.